right to know all they can about a war they're implicated in. And we have the right to tell them about it because we are Americans too.
Russian President Vladimir Putin is sitting down with Tucker Carlson. The former Fox News host announced on Tuesday that Putin will sit down with Carlson for his first interview with an American outlet in 3 years. In a video posted to X, Carlson accused other media outlets of being corrupt in their coverage of Russia's invasion of Ukraine and reporting on one side of the conflict by conducting multiple interviews with Ukrainian President Zelensky and none with Putin.
Most Americans have no idea why Putin invaded Ukraine or what his goals are now. They've never heard his voice. That's wrong.
Carlson, who launched a streaming show on X, says that the Putin interview will be available for free and will be unedited. He also noted that Western governments may attempt to censor the interview, but noted,
"We are not encouraging you to agree with what Putin may say in this interview, but we are urging you to watch it. You should know as much as you can. And then, like a free citizen and not a slave, you can decide for yourself."
Hello, family. Welcome back to another episode of Journey to Harmony. I'm your host, Richard Harmon. Today, I want to come to you and talk to you about the interview process that Tucker Carlson was in Moscow to have with Vladimir Putin. So Hilary Clinton came out and she rebuked Tucker Carlson very sharply for him going out and having this particular interview. It's interesting because we've had so many different interviews with Vladimir Zelensky. Many people have spent, we spent up to this point $100 billion in terms of either for funding for aid or for the weapons and ammunitions for Ukraine. And, people are saying, why is it that we're continuing to fund wars and what is it that's going on? Since the beginning of this, no one has really bothered to hear the side of Vladimir Putin, and Tucker Carlson took it upon himself to go about and to see exactly what is it that he thought of the situation. Over the last few months and the past few years, there's been information that's come out about the fraud that is going on in Ukraine and about how money is being laundered. Money is being sent over without any clear guidance or clear oversight in terms of what's going on. And so many people are confused about why is this being pushed so hard. So right now, Chuck Schumer, who is the Democratic leader, as well as Joe Biden, as well as others, are pushing very hard to get this supplemental bill passed. It's about $120 billion in terms of aid. It includes $60 billion that would go to Ukraine, $14 billion that would go to Israel, as well as $20 billion, I believe, that would go to the U.S. border. But there is a serious push to get this money to the Ukraine. And many people are wondering, what is the purpose? Why not sit down and speak about the options in terms of, negotiation, in terms of ending the cease war? There's so much push right now in Israel to get, to get a ceasefire from the Gaza Strip. Why also would that not be the case in Ukraine? So I'm going to play a video here of Hilary Clinton and her talking about Tucker Carlson and what he's trying to do. We'll watch a little bit of that, come back and talk about it just after that. The first time joining, please hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and here we go.
Is in Moscow right now interviewing Vladimir Putin.
Right.
The first American, I'll say, journalist to interview Putin since the war in Ukraine began. What does that tell you about Tucker Carlson and right-wing media and also Vladimir Putin?
Well, it shows me what I think we've all known. He's what's called a useful idiot. I mean, if you actually read translations of what's being said on Russian media, they make fun of him. I mean, he's like a puppy dog. He somehow has, after having been fired from so many outlets in the United States, I would not be surprised if he emerges with a contract with a Russian outlet, because he is a useful idiot. He says things that are not true. He parrots Vladimir Putin's pack of lies about Ukraine. So I don't see why Putin wouldn't give him an interview, because through him, he can, continue to lie about what his, objectives are in Ukraine and what he expects to see happen. It's really quite sad that not just somebody like Tucker Carlson, who has, as I said, been fired so many times because he seems unable to, correlate his reporting with the truth, but also because it's a sign that there are people in this country right now who are like a fifth column for Vladimir Putin. And why? I don't know. I mean, why are certain Republicans throwing their lot in? Why are, other Americans basically believing Putin? Why did Trump believe Putin more than our 11 intelligence agencies?
I don't know. Do you have a working theory?
I do have a working theory. But it's more than just the political partisan advantage. There is a yearning for leaders who can kill and imprison their opponents.
All right, perfect. So there it is right there again. Many people are, so Hillary said something just right there that was very interesting. She asked, why is it that people are yearning to hear from Vladimir Putin? And part of that is because the trust that is in the U.S. government has waned quite a bit. So whether it's due to the origins of the virus, whether it's due to whether it's due to the wars in Iraq, Afghanistan, all these different things have been brought out and show that there are alternate scenarios and situations where the U.S. government has outright lied in many of these situations. So now where people are so adamant and when the government is pushing so hard for you to believe a particular narrative, it's natural that after there's been so many different lies and so many different misinformation has been given, many people would consider and wonder, why is it that they're pushing this particular narrative? We've seen this many times before, as we have seen with whether it's with Trump or other issues. There's some serious reasons to not believe the mainstream media. And now Tucker Carlson, who is going there, and as you see in the beginning of this video, he said it, I don't advise you to believe him, but I advise you to listen. Part of what happened during the time of the of large forms of misinformation, times of large forms of corruption, those who are in charge generally don't want you to get to the source and to hear it for yourself. They want to be able to narrate and to give you a perspective that they want you to have on a particular topic. Tucker Carlson, what he has done here now, he's giving you the word from the horse's mouth. And from there, each person has a right to go about and to decide whether or not they're interested in believing the particular narrative that is given. In the same way as we were able to listen and to hear Vladimir Zelensky's particular perspective on what is it that occurred. This is going to continue to be an issue because of the money that's being pushed towards Ukraine. $60 billion is a lot of money. I saw something recently that stated that if you were to rebuild the Hoover Dam, it would cost you roughly about $1 billion. So in terms of the total money that has been spent and been sent over to the Ukraine, that would equal about 3 Hoover Dams in every state in America. There's 50 states, times that by 3 is $150 billion. And that would equate to a lot of jobs. That would equate to a lot of business, a lot of growth overall in the economy. But instead, that's being sent overseas, and many of these war companies, the larger ones that are making money hand over fist are being rewarded handsomely. People are looking at this, and they know for a fact that these politicians are also compensated by these particular companies. So as war does rage, they're being paid as a result of it, and people are concerned about this particular issue. People have talked about Nancy Pelosi and her ability to do insider trading, as she's working so closely with many of these companies, and they're looking for ways on how they can get that resolved. But there continues to be blockage in terms of why is it that they will allow it, and who is it that they will see with the action of continue to promote that. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that Tucker doing this particular interview was out of line? Do you think Hillary was justified in her explanation of the situation? Why is it that she jumped to the forefront as soon as that it was announced? It's pretty interesting overall. Put your comments below, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining, and have a good day.